qualified. Batty says, "Why?" Hopefully, you're a female, but Batty says, "Why are you qualified to teach American males?" Okay, now that's the best. That's the best question we've gotten in a while. All right. So again, if you're following along, Batty says, "Hey, Johns, why are you qualified to teach American males?" Okay. Now, when you are the type of person that people designate themselves as inferior to, okay. Again, if you are the type of person that people run up on and designate themselves, right, as inferior to, then that renders you superior, okay? And when it happens on a weekly basis inside of the United States, over the course of over a decade, then that makes you the measuring stick. And it's something that people can either admit, they can embrace, or they can fight it, like they try to do very frequently inside of the American public. And the fact that people can recognize it like that on sight lends to its credibility. Okay. Now, over the course of over a decade, Americans' behavior is almost like a pattern. Okay, it's almost like they get their behavior from movies or whatever cliche, wherever they get their cliches, and then they run up on you with it, right? Now, luckily, it's normally passive aggression. Luckily, okay, because if it was active aggression, the United States would be much more dangerous than it already is. And so, but when you're week upon week getting people's best shot, the way that like a University of Alabama in football gets people's best shot, the way that any team with LeBron James is on, that with LeBron James gets other people's best shot, when it tempers you, and it's like the rich get richer, well, the best get better, right? And people are designating you as superior to them. And, it started at a young age, at probably about age 16, breeding age. And you realize that full-grown men are responding to you. They are hinging their emotion, their behavior on your presence, okay? And that started at a young age. Now, know who asked for that. Who asked for that, right? But heavy is the head that wears the crown. And so it makes it difficult to go into the American public. It makes us very eager to leave when we're here, because it is so difficult to go into the public when people are praying to you from afar and approaching you in order to touch you, as well as manufacturing conflict just for the sake of an interaction. Okay, and so again, this is a long answer to the question: what makes you qualified to teach American males? Well, long story short, if they are designating you as the measuring stick week upon week, decade upon decade, then you're rendered the measuring stick. Okay? And damn, lucky us, right? Maybe creates some stark interactions and abrupt situations. But hey, that's part of the reason we have a website, gjohns.com. So that's a long answer to your question, but that was such a good-ass question that we had to take our time. So let's keep scrolling, and hopefully that answers your question, Batty. But in reality, now here's the thing, Batty, depending on your age and your nationality, you probably already know. If you're American and you're over the age of like 24, now you might be a college kid, you might even be a high school kid, but chances are you already knew the answer to that, right? But again, just in case, we had to answer it very thoroughly because it was such a good question. But Americans know, Americans know, and people can play dumb. That's their right. That's their right to play dumb. People very close to me play dumb about gjohns.com. So, if strangers want to play dumb and run up on you, then that's their business. If people that have known me since high school are gonna do it, then strangers are definitely gonna do it. So, And that's how it goes. But that's part of the reason we even have Operation Jaunts going right now. Would there be an Operation Jaunts if the United States was a happy and lollipops and candy cane type place, as opposed to a circus that's transposed onto a jungle? So, but yeah, long answer, but thanks for asking. Batty, ready? Check the feed. Emilio says endorsements. Mark Arm says verified. CJ says lucky for you or for them. Says CJA. Says Mark Arm says closing the scale. Right? Expired time says where do you get your material? Expired time, bro, material. This is surveillance. This is every day. Every day it is our life. And so people talk, sometimes people say things like that. What about the things that have been missed by surveillance? Guys, there's things that, unless we were walking around with a 360 panoramic camera, some things get lucky for them. They get surveillance misses it. Surveillance can only get so much. And so material, it's our everyday. And so it's actually very easy to film normal things inside the United States because they happen so frequently, almost like a movie that plays out in real time. So what's your safe word? Says, hey, John's Mark Arm says comparative analysis. Yeah, CJ says, John, you think you were born with it or developed it? Okay, so CJA with a great question. CJA says, you born with it or you developed it or equal parts? Well, guys, it's the question, nature versus nurture. Now, it starts with nurture, right? It starts with your environment, it starts with nurture. But eventually nature takes over. And whether that's at 14, whether you're a full-on gang member at 14, that means you've come to. That's if you're shooting at people, that means you've come to, right? Or if it's 40, when you're actively working against people and trying to compromise people in groups, you've come to, right? And so and that is what humans do. They compromise each other, and it's rough for the elite people because everyone's focused on us in general. So who's going to get that attention, right? Who are people combating? Well, it's the people that everyone's already looking at. One sec, guys. The wind just blew the phone. Hold on. The wind just blew the phone. Hold on, guys. Give us a second. Give us a second, guys. That we're surviving inside the United States. We have zero choice. Okay, we're back. Jeez, what were we talking about? Okay, so yeah, it's the question of nature versus nurture, right? It starts out with nurture, right? But then eventually nature takes over, and so again, whether it's 14, whether you're out running up on people, or whether it's 40 and you're planning your attack with your other middle-aged buddies. Right, planning your attack on a breeding age male that can breed more frequently than you can, and so it's a matter of which one you are, and is it? I mean, it's inconvenient to be the hub, right, of every situation, because then you're the subject of all of the aggression. So it's inconvenient, but it tempers you, right, and it makes you and the best get better, the rich get richer. When it rains, it pours. And so, thank you, right? Thank you. Because, right, without American culture, probably just be a basketball coach, right? A varsity basketball coach. But that opportunity is null and void, right? So we have to become an actual American Messiah for survival. That we're surviving inside the United States. We have zero choice. And so, but it's fun. Luckily for us, it's fun. And so, that like it is for everyone here. And obviously, if you've seen the women on gjohns.com, that's enough reason right there. And really, like, go look at the women on gjohns.com. Okay, now that's a long answer to the question. I forgot who asked it. We'll have to scroll, but they said, "Gee, are you born with it, or do you develop it?" So, like at 16, obviously that's just inherent, right? So, like my coaches that were objectifying a 16-year-old Garrett, a 20-year-old Garrett, that was raw nature, right? That's how they are, right? They're 40 and 50-year-old men that were competing with a 16, 18, 20-year-old boy. And, but, if you fast forward to now in our 30s, it's like, what have we, you get tempered. And so, like, you get better, right? So the best get better, right? And so if you're already clean, then you get cleaner, right? Because you got all these average grade Americans with their sights set on you. On a weekly basis. And so it's a long answer, but hopefully that answers some of it. And so we got to get back to we got some good questions today. Wow. Hold on one sec. We got to scroll because the wind blew down our phone. And so give us a sec, guys. That was CJA that asked that. Mark Arms is here. Walk down the street hungry. Yeah, fast food, Mark Arms. Gov.uk, what's up? Liamatema. Oh, hold on, guys. Phone slipped again. Liamatema. Okay, Gov.uk. What's happening, G? Yeah, Gov.uk. Liamatema says, and we think she's fine, right? Isn't she fine, guys? Have you seen her? She's made a cameo. She says, thanks for liking the post. That's funny. Okay, and then, Liamatema says, glad to see it's sunny on the West Coast. This is Tulsa, Liamatema. She says, geez, you got a nice place. Visiting my dad. Yeah. In Tulsa. Ready? Expired times. Yeah. Liamatema says, I would argue it's the other way around, nature then there. Oh, okay. Well, you think so, Liamatema? Huh. We can talk about that. Liamatema, in fact, send another cameo. Liamatema, send in another cameo. You guys, she looks good, man. So, guys, we're trying to situate our phone and talk to Liamatema because the wind keeps blowing it. But she says it's nature then nurture. Okay. We could debate that, Liamatema. But in the meantime, send another endorsement. Liamatema looks good, you guys. Ready? Hey, search. It says Eurostep, and then Baller says, is your research purely observational? I'm guessing you also obtain data from interview-specific age and gender demographics. Of course, man. We're international ESL teachers, so we run around the country, we run around the planet, teaching and meeting new people all over the place. So, a byproduct of that is knowing a lot of damn things about humans. So lucky us, right? And so it would be observational as well as interrogational. Right? We talk with a lot of if you sit down and have beers with a lot of damn people, you're gonna learn a lot of damn things. So that's over the course of over a decade since college. So hey,